There is a secret about women that no one really tells you. Women are not attracted to emotional stability itself, but to the man who makes their emotions move. And because they are afraid of making others uncomfortable, afraid of upsetting people, afraid of creating drama, many men end up turning themselves into a bland experience, even though they are not lacking in value at all. You can be kind, sincere, and a good listener. But if every time she is around you, her emotions stay locked in a safe, neutral state, sooner or later, her brain will stop paying attention. Not because you did something wrong, but because there is no emotional reason to stay. This video is for men who have been in that situation before. At first, the conversations feel great. There is a lot of interaction. But over time, everything cools down without any clear reason. If you keep communicating in a way that only makes others feel comfortable, the result will not change. It will just repeat itself with different people. In this video, I will talk about how to stir women's emotions through a full emotional range, a form of controlled drama, where you become the source of emotion instead of just a passive reactor. Not to manipulate, but to help you understand why emotions need ups and downs in order to create connection. The most important part is at the end of the video, where I will point out the very thin line between creating attraction and completely destroying the connection if you use this the wrong way. If you do not want to stay stuck in the loop of good conversations that go nowhere, watch until the end and subscribe to the channel, because the content here is built to help you understand the true nature of attraction, not to learn cheap tricks. The problem with many men is not that they lack care or attention, but that they avoid all forms of drama. They are afraid of disagreement, afraid of making others uncomfortable, afraid of creating negative emotions, so they try to keep every interaction safe. But that very safety removes emotional movement, and when emotions do not move, the brain stops paying attention. Emotions do not operate on right or wrong logic. They operate on intensity and change. When you create only one state, comfortable, stable, predictable, emotions quickly become saturated. This explains why many relationships start off well, but slowly cool down without any obvious incident. Another common mistake is that men let external factors become the source of her emotions. Situations, stories, other people. In that case, you are just someone accompanying the experience, not the center of it. If you do not become the source of emotion, whether positive or controlled negative, you are very easy to replace. If you continue to avoid drama and only try to please, you will repeat the same ending, being liked but not desired. And that is why, to create attraction, you need to understand that drama is not chaos, but a wide enough emotional range to hold attention. The first thing that needs to be overturned is the idea that intensity is the same as drama. In reality, intensity in attraction is not about arguing, hurting, or causing chaos. It is about the ability to create emotional movement on purpose. When emotions have ups and downs, the brain registers the experience as noteworthy and wants to return to it. Many men confuse stability with attraction. Stability is important for long-term life, but attraction is created first through emotional activation. If every interaction is smooth, predictable, and free of peaks or dips, emotions quickly become saturated. And when emotions are saturated, curiosity disappears. Another key point is your role in her emotional experience. If her emotions mainly come from situations, stories, or other people, you are just someone walking alongside the experience. But when you become the source of her emotions, when being around you makes her feel happier, more confused, more curious, connection begins to form. The brain naturally links strong emotions to the person who creates them. Finally, unpredictability does not come from acting or playing a role, but from not revealing all of your intentions and emotions right away. When there is a gray area, the brain fills in the gaps with assumptions. And those assumptions are what make her keep thinking about you even when you are not around. In the next section, I will wrap up the core psychological principles behind controlled intensity before moving on to how to turn them into concrete behavior in real life. The most important principle to understand is this: women do not bond with people. They bond with the emotions those people create. If her emotions come from circumstances, stories, or other people, you are just standing on the side. But when her emotions shift every time she interacts with you, the brain links you directly to that experience. Intensity in attraction is not about disruption or harm. It is about creating a wide enough emotional range. A man who only creates comfort will quickly become familiar. A man who can create excitement, confusion, curiosity, and even mild discomfort will hold attention longer. The brain needs variation in order to keep investing. The next principle is that intensity is always created through balance, not extremes. Attention needs to be mixed with a touch of indifference. Compliments need to come with standards. When opposing elements exist at the same time, emotions cannot stay still. Another key point is that unpredictability creates anticipation. When you do not say everything, do not promise too early, and do not reveal all of your emotions, the brain automatically fills the gaps with assumptions. And wherever there are assumptions, there is emotional investment. Finally, intensity only works when it is paired with self-control and boundaries. If you are afraid of negative reactions, afraid of disagreement, afraid of upsetting people, you will unconsciously make everything predictable. But when you are willing to hold your principles, willing to disagree, and do not need constant validation, intensity forms naturally without breaking respect. In the next part, I will turn these principles into 5 very real-life situations where you can clearly see when to push emotions forward and when to hold back in order to create an emotional range that is strong enough without crossing the line. The first situation: she seems very excited, talks a lot, and constantly seeks your attention. In this moment, her emotions are at a peak. A common wrong reflex many men have is overindulgence, responding immediately, matching every rhythm of the conversation, and trying to keep the fun energy going at all costs. This freezes the emotion in a single state. The correct reflex is to receive the excitement without clinging to it. For example, when she is talking very enthusiastically, you might say, "I can see you are in a really good mood, but let's continue this a bit later." This line creates a small drop. In her mind, there is a sense of incompleteness, and that feeling turns excitement into anticipation instead of letting it fade. If you stay in the fun state for too long, the emotion cools down very quickly. The second situation: she starts asking a lot about you, wanting to know what you think and how you feel. Here, she is looking for certainty. The wrong reflex is to reveal too much, explaining all of your thoughts and emotions so she can feel reassured. The correct reflex is to answer just enough and keep part of it unspoken. For example, when she asks, "What do you think about me?" you reply, "I enjoyed talking to you, and the rest we will see." This answer does not reject her, but it also does not give her the full picture. In her mind, curiosity is activated. If you say everything too early, the emotional range immediately collapses. The third situation: she is irritated, upset, or arguing with you. Many men are afraid of negative emotions, so the wrong reflex is to smooth things over right away, apologizing, backing down, and trying to bring everything back to a safe state. The correct reflex is not to avoid it, but also not to escalate it. For example, when she speaks in an irritated tone, you respond, "I can see that you are not happy, but we do not have to agree right now." This line holds a boundary and allows the emotion to exist. In her mind, you are not someone who is afraid of conflict, but someone who is stable enough to stay inside it. If you always try to calm things down immediately, emotions never gain depth. The fourth situation: she expects you to always be available and to respond immediately when she needs you. At this point, she is getting used to your presence. The wrong reflex is to always be there, out of fear that if you do not respond, you will lose her. The correct reflex is to combine care with the ability to step back. For example, when she texts you repeatedly, you can say, "I am busy with something right now. Let's talk later." You do not disappear, but you are not always there either. In her mind, the emotion shifts from familiarity to anticipation. If you are always available, emotions move into a taken-for-granted state and lose their pull. The fifth situation, she reacts strongly, whether with anger, sadness, or by pulling back her interest. The wrong reflex is panic, trying to fix everything immediately to pull the emotion back. The correct reflex is to give the emotion space to move on its own. For example, when she goes quiet or becomes distant, you simply say, "When you feel like talking again, let me know." This line shows that you are not afraid of losing emotional control. In her mind, a short absence does not end the emotion, but keeps it moving. If you chase and try to fix things, intensity turns into pressure. The common thread in all 5 situations is this: you are not trying to lock emotions into one fixed state. You allow emotions to move within a safe range. When she experiences different emotional states around you and cannot fully predict your reactions, the brain links you to a strong emotional experience. And that movement is the foundation of lasting attraction. The most important thing to remember is this: attraction does not come from keeping everything smooth. It comes from allowing emotions to move within a safe range. When you are not trying to please, not afraid of short-term emotional friction, and not constantly seeking validation, you naturally become unpredictable. And that unpredictability prevents emotional saturation and keeps attention alive. What you just heard is not meant to manipulate or cause harm. Do not apply this when you are anxious, attached to outcomes, or trying to control other people's reactions. From that state, intensity turns into pressure. Only apply this when you are calm, grounded, have boundaries, and respect yourself. Over the next 7 days, do 3 things. First, observe emotional rhythm. When everything feels flat, do not stretch it out. When there is friction, do not rush to smooth it over. Second, hold back part of your emotions. Do not say everything, do not promise too early, and let the gray area do its work. Third, combine attention with the ability to step away. Show care when needed, but be ready to return to your own life. If after 1 week you feel lighter in your interactions and her reactions have more depth, that is a sign you are on the right path. Lasting attraction always starts with self-control, not forced effort. If this video helped you recognize a reflex you have gotten wrong before, hit like and share it with someone who might need it. And subscribe to the channel to continue following content that goes deeper into state, boundaries, and how to create natural attraction.